This show, we're going to give every woman watching something to think about, a way of handling an unpleasant situation with just the use of her voice. It's called verbal self-defense, and it could even save a life.
Bonnie Strauss finds out how to defend yourself verbally next. We've spoken often about self-defense for women, but today Bonnie Strauss finds out about a means of self-defense that is non-physical. It involves the psychological power of the human voice. Bonnie.
I guess you could call it vocal self-defense, Gary. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
I'll do that.
Okay, well, not a bad idea. Speech and pathologist Dr. Lillian Glass feels that women can avert many unpleasant and sometimes threatening situations merely with the use of their voice. She's joining me to explain just how we do that, and she's brought the only prop she needs, her voice. I'd like to welcome Dr. Glass. Welcome. Before we get into examples, you say that we send out all kinds of messages by using our voice. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, you are what you speak. In fact, Galen, who was a Greek philosopher, once said, it's not the eyes that mirror the soul, it's the voice, it's the speech, it's the communication mechanism. What you say says it all. How you say says even more.
What are some of the things that you can tell about a person? For example, a woman. Many women have a very difficult time in really sounding, or fearful of sounding aggressive, and they get into a very sweet, sing-songy rhythm.
Right. The voice is so important in just the way you appear. In fact, research shows that a person is judged to be more attractive, more sexually exciting, more intelligent, just based on the way they sound. And it's so important. A lot of times women get very nervous. They tense up and their voice gets all high-pitched because they have a lot of muscle tension, especially in the shoulder area, in their neck area, and as a result they have this high-pitched squeaky voice, and especially when they get nervous and then they talk really rapidly and sound like little girls. And if you've ever listened to these radio talk shows, psychologists call in shows, and somebody will call in and say, my name's Mary, and I'm 42 years old, and I have a problem. And the psychologist says, well, Mary, you have childlike behavior patterns.
You can tell with the first two words, right? It's a dead giveaway.
Right.
But that can be changed.
Absolutely. People's voices can't be changed. It's not dyed in stone. It's not etched in stone. You can change the way you sound. You can change the tone of your voice.
Well, through concerted effort and breathing exercises?
Yes. There are a lot of different things you can do. First of all, you have to analyze what the problem is. You may have a problem with pronunciation or articulation. You may have a problem with nasality. Do you sound really nasal like this? You may have a difficult problem with breathing. You may breathe from up here. So what you have to do is analyze what it is that is the problem with your voice, and you can change.
Okay, that's pretty much, on the cosmetic level, but you really believe also, though, that a woman can use her voice to avoid unpleasant situations as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We become so vulnerable, not only by what we say, but by how we say things. It's so important. For example, if somebody asks you the time, what would be a way that you would approach that? How would you ask somebody what time it is?
Can you tell me the time, please?
Okay, that's very good. Can you please tell me the time? You did very
what would
well.
not have been good?
Okay, what would not have been good is, excuse me, I don't know how to, I'm also lost and I don't know if I'm on time. Could you please tell me what time it is right now? And so a lot of extra verbiage, a lot of extra verbal baggage. Another situation would be if you are lost, because this would be a problem as well. For example, let's say you were lost, and how would you ask somebody for directions?
Well, I probably would say that I'm looking for whatever the street name. Can you tell me how to get there?
Okay, that's not bad. But what you might want to do is definitely not say that you're lost. Excuse me, what is the, how do I get to
Actually, no, that's not really true. I really pulled into more gas stations as, sorry, I'm lost.
Okay.
Can you direct me? Help. No, I do say that.
Okay, but then you make yourself more vulnerable. What you may want to do is say, what is the best way to get to Elm Street? So you ask more direct questions. Also, body language is very important, and eye contact. We've all heard situations where people who stand like victims are victimized, or who walk like victims. The same thing is true with your voice. If you sound like a victim, you may have a better chance of being victimized than if you don't sound like a victim.
Can we role play a little bit just to establish what we're talking about?
Let me try an example with you. Let's say you are at a party and somebody's bothering you. and they're saying to you, hey, come home with me. You know, I'd like to take you home. Come on, let's go, let's go. And they just keep molesting you. They just keep bothering you. What do you do?
Well, before I even get into what I do, you see, isn't it possible? I think that I send out an error where no one would even do that, because in the voice that I use, it distances people I don't want to have around.
Okay.
Don't women use their voices that way?
Unfortunately, they don't. There may be a lot of giggling that would take place. They may go, well, no, thank you.
Oh,
I'm
no.
not interested.
Are you kidding? You better watch out if anybody says that to me. No, I don't have any problem with that.
Okay, but a lot of women do. So what they may want to do is take that breath in, hold it for a few seconds, and look directly into that person's eyes and say, no, thank you, I'm not interested. And let them know that they have that message. Let's also take another example.
Okay.
Okay?
This is fun.
Okay? Let's say you are in the library, okay, and you're studying late at night, and you are so absorbed into your work that you're not aware of what's going on around you. And then all of a sudden you feel something on your ankle, and you look down, and you see a man's hand grabbing your ankle. What are you going to do?
Kick.
Kick. Okay. Aside from kicking, this did happen to one of my clients, and what she did was she looked down, again, took her breath in, and it was a split-second type of move, squeezed her stomach muscles and said, what can I do? Can I help you? And he just scurried away.
No, but that is interesting to have that strength and that force, and it is really, it's a whole new approach, I think, to almost
It is.
self-image. I like these examples. I just want to say, though, that for the women listening who have never found that deeper voice,
Yes.
because it does have to be worked
Okay,
on,
right.
just a simple exercise.
Okay. One of the things you need to do is take a breath in, hold it for about 3 seconds, and then let it out. This, first of all, releases a lot of tension. And if you could do this repeatedly, another approach would be to take that breath in again, hold it, now tighten up your muscles and open your jaw real wide and go, ah, feeling the air go all the way down the tube. And if you can make the analogy, very
okay,
good.
fine. I'm
very
going to
good.
practice a lot. Thank you very much.
Good.